has more depth and breadth and detail and exponential attraction than the individual components that you've put into it. And this is new conversation that we're just having these days. So you get the picture of the vortex, the vibrational reality gestating and becoming, and your awareness of it increasing, and your vibrational alignment with it getting better and better and better. That's why more of the things that you're asking for are coming more readily, more easily, more often. It's because of your vibrational relationship with your already created vibrational reality. So as this vibrational reality continues to gain momentum, and you, because you meditate and you stay happy and you focus on things that cause you to feel good, and you steadily hold your vibration in a high-flying place, then the transfer from the vortex into reality is just a steady stream for you. But we want to point out how delicious that unfolding is on the way to the actual manifestation. We like to call this the sweet spot of creation, where you get to witness the cooperation of universal forces and other physical cooperative components. That is the hands in the clay creation that you all came here for. It would be like an artist who is really good at molding clay into magnificent things, then saying, I have too many statues around right now, when what most artists who are molding would say instead is, I just love the process of the becoming. I just love the feeling of my hands in the clay. I just love the ideas that flow even while I'm moving along. I just love the becoming and getting to witness the becoming. That's that sweet spot, because you've been hearing us say for a long time, it's not the destination, it's the joy of the journey. But this is really the journey that we're talking about, because much of your journey you're sort of oblivious to, and that's fine. Contrast is part of the journey, and you're putting stuff in the vortex, and that's all part of the journey. Life's just causing that to happen. You don't have to work at asking. Life causes you to ask. So that's not a very deliberate part of the creative process. And source energy responding and law of attraction responding, that's really not a deliberate thing for you to do either. So it doesn't even start being deliberate until you understand that you must tune yourself to the essence of what you've created. And once you begin deliberately changing the essence of how you feel, once you show yourself that you can feel good no matter what, once you show yourself that you aren't having knee-jerk responses to what's going on in what seems like a chaotic world, but instead you're steady and happy. In other words, the association between what I thought and what I felt and what I practiced thinking, and therefore what I accomplished the feeling of, and then the universal response to that, you begin to feel invincible. And there is no exhilaration greater than that worthy knowledge and that feeling of invincibility. Manifesting is a delicious thing. You are leading edge creators. You know, you're really good at it even when you are in the non-physical realm. We are having a wonderful time playing our non-physical role. Everything that is physical and everything that is tangible has a spiritual basis. And what you want to call spirit is in on all of it. And when you consciously let yourself in on it, now and only now, then and only then, are you doing what you came for. Everything else is just practice on your way up to what the real deal is. Do I feel like there's so much to give and get? Or do I feel like it's all sort of useless and wasted? There's so much to give and get. Do I feel that I can be empowered by the engines and forces and laws of the universe, or have I got to muster it all up on my own? No, I'm supported. There's so much evidence of the support of the universe. I just have to sync with it. Do I know how to sync with it, or am I flying blind here? I know how to sync with it. Do I often sync with it? Yes, I do. That's all that it takes. Now you're calibrated back with what you really know and who you really are, and your inner being is joyous in your acknowledgement of what your inner being already knows, and now you're in the replenishing mode, not the deprivation mode. And in the replenishing, you're feeling yourself coming back to life. Ideas about maybe what you'd like to do start coming to you. You want to get up and go get something to eat. Everything shifts because you shifted. You now know about calibration, and you now know that you can be under the influence, in other words, letting some situation calibrate you, or you can be under the influence of your source and calibrating to that. You can be calibrating to your desires or to your bogus beliefs. You can be calibrating to your strengths, or you can be calibrating to your weaknesses. You can be calibrating to your desires or to your fears. It's your choice, but you've got to do the work. Now you know too much. Now you know that you are an extension of source energy, and that source energy is calibrated to success beyond Esther's ability to even describe it to you, you see. So you just got to stop being lazy and sloppy in your thinking and get out ahead of it. Now, get out ahead of it. 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 That sounds nice. But if you're tumbling down the ski slope, rolling in the snow, and someone yells, stop, you're not going to stop. And in the same way, you're not going to get out ahead of it when you're living the results of previous calibration. So you have to find somewhere in there a reason to see things differently. That's the reason you sleep, really. You recalibrate when you sleep, and you have a tremendous opportunity to focus differently when you awaken, if you would. But your tendency is to talk about what's been going on and to face reality, and often you wake up in a similar environment that you went to sleep in, and so you usually don't make any deliberate attention toward calibrating to something that you really want. Most of you let your environment calibrate you. We've been saying this to you for a long, long time. Most people offer most of their vibration in response to what they are observing. And so what we're asking you to do is stop letting your observing with your physical senses, what you're seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching, let that not be the observation that matters most to you for a little while, and let your emotional observation be what matters most to you. Start observing what's in the ether. Start observing what's in your vortex. Start observing what your inner being knows. Start observing who you really are. Well, how do you observe something that hasn't manifested yet? Do you use your eyes? No. Use your sonar. Use your emotional sonar. In other words, it's a vibrational sensor that lets you know. Use your ability to see in the dark. Use your ability to see what is not yet manifested. Airplanes fly all the time, and they can't see where they're going, but they're using sensors so that they know where they are in relationship to where they want to be. You've got that. You have emotional sonar. You can tell if it feels good, keep going that way. If it feels bad, make some new decisions about the direction that you're pointed. You see what we're getting at? Of course you do. It's so obvious. You know too much to slip back into the complacency of just regurgitating what is. So somebody comes up to you because they're part of your gravitational pool, because you've been thinking about them, and they present to you what they usually present, but you are now different. You're now different. So you can now commiserate with them. You can seek harmony with them. You can try to get them to understand that you understand what they understand, if you want to. Or you can feel the offness of it, and you can just give them a welcome smile and understand where they are and say, you know, I got to get going. I got some stuff going on. I got some stuff going on. Don't let yourself get sucked in to what sucks the minute you get sucked in. The minute you get sucked into it, it doesn't feel good, and you know it. Do something about it. Don't get sucked in. Don't let yourself go where sometimes it's the easiest place to go. You know too much. You know too much.
Thank you for stopping by to watch this video. Make sure to subscribe for the next video.